here's something most men never realize. A woman doesn't have to love you to feel attached to you. She can lose interest, date someone else, and still find herself checking your page, thinking about you, or wondering what you're doing. And it's not always because she wants you back. It's because something about you left an emotional mark she can't shake off. See, when a woman can't let go of a man, it's rarely about logic. It's about how you made her feel. Maybe you gave her a sense of peace she didn't know she needed. Maybe you challenged her in a way neither man did. Or maybe your absence made her realize that her life feels strangely quiet without your presence. Whatever it is, that emotional imprint lingers. Even if she's already convinced herself she's not interested. But here's the catch, and what most men get wrong. When a woman can't let go, it doesn't mean she's ready to commit or that she values you properly. Sometimes she's just struggling with the fact that she lost control of the dynamic. Women are emotional creatures, but they're also deeply driven by ego. And if she senses that you were the one who stopped chasing, stopped trying, or walked away first, it bothers her more than she'll ever admit. This is where things get interesting because when she feels that loss of emotional control, she starts replaying the situation in her mind. She questions her choices. She compares you to the next guy. And even if she swears she's moved on, she'll still find herself reacting to your energy, especially if you've stayed grounded and detached. Welcome to the channel where we break down real female psychology. Not the sugar-coated stuff, but the truth most people are too afraid to say. In today's video, we're diving deep into why women can't fully let you go, even when they've convinced themselves they don't want you. Now, before we go deeper, here are the 7 truths that explain exactly why that happens. 1. She misses the control, not you. She misses the control, not you. Here's something most men don't realize. When a woman can't let you go, it's often not because she's still emotionally invested in you as a person. It's because she's struggling to accept that she no longer has the same control over you that she once did. See? Control for many women isn't about manipulation or power in a toxic sense. It's emotional security. When she knew she could call and you'd pick up. When she knew a text from her would still get a reaction. That sense of control made her feel comfortable, important, and desired. Now, when that control disappears, when you stop chasing, stop reacting, stop giving her the attention she once had on demand, something in her ego feels it instantly. It's not that she suddenly realizes she's in love. It's that her sense of influence over you has vanished, and that loss hits her harder than she expected. Imagine this. There was a guy she once had wrapped around her finger. He'd drop everything just to talk to her, reply instantly, and always be available. Then one day, he stops doing that. He's calm, focused, unbothered, and distant in a way. She can't read anymore. Suddenly, the roles reverse. Now she's the one wondering what he's doing, why he's not texting back, and if he's moved on. That uncertainty, that loss of control, becomes the very thing that keeps her emotionally stuck. What's ironic is that this can happen even when she's dating someone else. She might have a new guy giving her attention, but deep down, she's comparing. The feeling. That old emotional control she had with you is gone, and the new guy doesn't trigger the same reactions. It's like she's missing a piece of a dynamic she once owned, not because it was healthy, but because it made her feel powerful. Men often mistake this for love or rekindled interest. But don't confuse her curiosity or sudden attention as genuine desire. When she checks in, texts you randomly, or tries to get your attention online, it's her ego looking for reassurance that she still has access, that she can still pull a reaction out of you. The truth is, once a woman realizes she no longer controls your emotions, it forces her to see you differently. And that's when she can't fully let you go. Not because she's holding on to you, but because she's trying to hold on to the version of herself that once had power over your world. 2. You gave her emotional. You gave her emotional highs. She can't replace highs. She can't replace. When a woman can't let you go, it's often because you gave her emotional highs she hasn't been able to find anywhere else. See, attraction isn't built on constant comfort. It's built on emotional contrast. The moments of connection, excitement, challenge, mystery, and even a little tension, those create a powerful emotional cocktail she gets addicted to. Most men don't realize how deeply women crave emotional stimulation. It's not about what you said or did. It's about how you made her feel. Maybe you challenged her ego in ways other men were too afraid to. Maybe you didn't always agree with her, and that unpredictability kept her intrigued. Or maybe you carried yourself with calm confidence, giving her a sense of security one moment and mystery the next. Whatever the case, the emotional experience you created stuck in her mind. Now, when she moves on and tries to connect with someone new, she might like the guy, but something feels off. He might be nice, but he doesn't make her feel the same rush. There's no intensity, no spark that keeps her guessing. The connection feels flat, predictable, and that's when thoughts of you resurface. Not necessarily because she wants you back, but because she misses that emotional edge she had when she was with you. This is why you'll see women circle back or check in out of nowhere. They're chasing that high again, trying to create the feelings they had around you. Even if they told themselves they were done, the mind starts to crave what once made them feel alive. It's not love. It's emotional memory. Here's the hard truth. Most men lose their power when they start chasing, over-explaining, or trying to fix what went wrong. Because the moment she feels she can predict you, the emotional intensity dies. What keeps a woman emotionally hooked isn't endless attention, it's unpredictability combined with confidence. When she doesn't know exactly where she stands with you, when she feels that emotional tension, but sees that you're still calm and in control, that's when her feelings intensify. 3. Your absence. Your absence created curiosity and confusion created. Curiosity and confusion. When a woman feels like she's losing emotional control, your absence hits harder than you think. It's not always because she misses you. It's because she doesn't fully understand why she feels the way she does when you're gone. That confusion becomes curiosity, and that curiosity quietly pulls her back toward you even when she's trying to move on. Women don't respond well to emotional uncertainty. They like to know, to understand why something happened, what it means, and where things stand. When a man disappears or pulls away, calmly without bitterness, explanations, or drama, it creates a psychological loop in her mind that she can't easily close. She starts to replay moments, analyze conversations, and question her own decisions. That curiosity is powerful. It starts small. She wonders what you're doing or why you suddenly seem unbothered. Then it grows. She checks your social media. She compares your silence to the attention other men give her. And she starts to feel something she didn't expect. Confusion mixed with attraction. Most men don't realize how much power comes from a composed absence. When you're not reaching out, when you're not reacting, when you're simply living your life and moving with purpose, she notices. Even if she's not reaching out, she feels it. That shift in energy makes her question whether she underestimated you, whether she lost something valuable, or whether she made a mistake walking away. The irony is that your absence often reveals more than your presence ever could, because when you're no longer around, she gets a clearer picture of what you brought to her life. Your energy, your stability, your masculine presence. She starts to notice the silence where your attention used to be, and that emptiness starts to bother her. What really drives her crazy is not knowing where she stands anymore. When she was in control, she could predict your reactions and count on your attention. But now, your calm detachment becomes a mirror reflecting her uncertainty. That's when she starts checking up on you, liking old photos, or bringing your name up in conversations. Subtle ways of re-establishing emotional contact without actually saying it. She feels the loss of your validation for. She feels the loss of your validation. Validation is one of the strongest emotional currencies in a woman's world, and most men don't realize just how much of it they give away without noticing. Every time you complimented her, gave her attention, or showed interest, you've her sense of self-worth. And while that might sound small, it's a big deal in how women attach emotionally. When that validation disappears, it leaves a void that most women don't know how to fill easily. See, when you were in her life, she probably got used to a steady flow of attention from you. The texts, the compliments, the curiosity about her day, the way you looked at her like she was special. That validation wasn't just about ego, it was emotional reassurance. It told her, I matter to him. I still have his attention. That feeling can be addictive, especially when it's coming from a man whose presence carries value and confidence. So when you pull that validation away, when you stop reacting, stop chasing, and stop giving her emotional feedback, she feels it, and not in a casual way. It triggers a subtle kind of emotional discomfort, because now she's no longer sure if she still matters to you. That uncertainty starts to mess with her thoughts, and before she knows it, she's checking your social media or finding excuses to cross paths again. It's not that she's suddenly fallen back in love. She's just missing the emotional supply she once got from you. And this is where many men mess up. They mistake her return for genuine affection, when it's really about regaining that lost validation. She's not chasing you. She's chasing the feeling you used to give her. Women are emotional by nature, but they're also driven by a deep need to be seen and desired. When you stop feeding that part of her, it forces her to face her own insecurities. That's why your silence becomes louder than any words you could ever say. 5. You triggered a deeper emotional imprint.
Every man a woman meets leaves some kind of mark, but only a few leave one that lingers long after they're gone. That's what an emotional imprint is. It's not just about attraction or chemistry or shared memories. It's about how deeply she felt something
when she was with you and how hard it is to recreate that feeling with anyone else. You might not even realize when you've triggered it. It happens in subtle ways. The tone of your voice when you spoke to her with calm authority, the way you made her feel both safe and challenged, or how you stayed composed when she expected you to lose control. Those moments build a unique emotional signature, and once it's there, it sticks. Imagine this. There's a man who doesn't say much, but everything he does carries purpose. When he looks at her, he doesn't beg for attention. He observes. When she pulls away, he doesn't panic. He gives her space. And when she comes back, he doesn't rush toward her with instant validation. Hetake's his time. To her, that's new. It's rare. And that experience becomes emotionally powerful because it separates him from every other man who tried too hard to win her over. That's what makes an emotional imprint so strong. It's born out of difference. You stood out because you didn't react the way most men did. You didn't give her what she expected. And that unpredictability, that quiet strength, left an impression. Even if she moved on, a part of her still compares every new man to that feeling. This is why women often find themselves haunted by a man they claim to no longer care about. It's not about missing the relationship. It's about missing the emotion they felt in his presence. You didn't just occupy space in her life. You influenced her emotions in a way that altered how she experiences other connections. 6. She wants to know if you still care, wants to know if you still care. Even when a woman says she's done, she still wants to know if you care. It's not always about wanting to get back together. Sometimes it's just about knowing that she still holds a place in your mind. That reassurance feeds Hirgo, her emotions and her curiosity. And when she doesn't get that confirmation, it creates a quiet tension inside her that keeps her thinking about you. Women have a strong emotional need for significance. When she knew she had your attention, made her feel seen, desired, and powerful. But when that attention disappears, when you stop calling, stop checking in, and stop reacting to her, she starts to question what she meant to you in the first place. That question alone can be enough to keep her emotionally hooked. It's not always that she wants you back. Sometimes she just wants to confirm that you still think about her. that you still care even a little. When you stop showing it, that uncertainty becomes louder than any argument or breakup talk ever could. That's why even women who've moved on will still send a "Hey stranger" text, watch your stories, or find subtle ways to re-enter your life. She's not always trying to rekindle things. She's checking the temperature to see if you've truly detached. And here's where a lot of men make mistakes. They think responding kindly or giving her attention again will win her back. But in reality, that only gives her the answer she was looking for, that she still has an effect on you. Once she gets that validation, she can relax emotionally, and often she disappears again. It's not cruel. It's just human psychology. The moment she realizes that you don't care the way you used to, that you're genuinely fine without her, something shifts. She starts to feel a loss of emotional power. That realization hits harder than rejection, because it forces her to see that your world no longer revolves around her. 7. You became the one. She can't fully figure out. There's one thing that keeps a woman thinking about a man long after he's gone. Mystery. When she can't fully understand you, she can't fully move on from you. That uncertainty becomes an emotional loop she keeps returning to because the human mind naturally tries to close what's unresolved. And when it comes to women, nothing stays in their thoughts longer than a man they couldn't quite figure out. Most men make the mistake of being too transparent. They over-explain, overshare, and constantly reveal how they feel in hopes of being understood. But the men who stay in a woman's mind are different. They move with quiet confidence. They don't argue for validation or chase to prove their worth. They let their actions speak, and their silence create weight. When a woman can't read your emotions easily, it challenges her ego. She starts wondering, what's he thinking? Does he miss me? Has he moved on? Those questions keep her emotionally attached, even when she's trying to detach. The more she tries to figure you out, the more she invests her energy into thinking about you, and that's exactly what makes you unforgettable. But here's where men need to be careful. Mystery isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about being grounded enough in yourself that you don't feel the need to explain or chase validation. It's about having standards, emotional control, and a life that doesn't revolve around her. That's what creates the real intrigue. When you reach that point, you become the man she can't fully read, and that drives her curiosity wild. Even if she tells herself she's moved on, part of her will always wonder who you really are beneath that calm exterior, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and whether you've already found someone new. This is where many men fail. They reveal much too soon. They try to convince her they've changed, or that they're fine without her instead of simply being fine without her. Your strength doesn't need to be announced. It needs to be felt. And when she feels that shift, when she sees that you're no longer emotionally available in the same way, that's when she starts chasing clarity. Conclusion. When a woman can't let you go, it doesn't always mean she still loves you. Sometimes it means you've become the emotional standard she can't replace. You showed her something real. You made her feel something deep. And even if she tried to convince herself she's moved on, the emotional mark you left keeps echoing in her mind. But here's where most men lose their power. They chase the validation of being remembered instead of valuing the strength of being unforgettable. You don't need to prove anything to a woman who walked away. Your silence, your focus, your calm indifference, those say more than any text or apology ever could, because when you stop trying to be understood, you become mysterious again. And that mystery keeps you in her thoughts longer than any effort to win her back. The truth is, women never fully forget Aman, who carried himself with quiet confidence, self-respect, and emotional control. You become the lesson she learns too late. So instead of wondering if she still thinks about you, focus on becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to be thought about to have value. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a woman who couldn't seem to let go even after everything ended? Drop your experience in the comments below. I'll be reading through and replying. Let's talk about it. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence.